Hi, I'm Donna Joy Asher. I'm an author. I'm coming to you from pretty much my office. So this is where I do my writing over here. Today I want to talk to you about the hardest thing about being an author of all. And most people would think that that's writing a book, right? When people find out that you've written a book, they're like, oh my God, I've always wanted to write a book. And then normally they start trying to tell you their story that they want to write their book about, hoping that you'll run with it, right? Which is always really amusing. It's just like, write your own story. But they assume that the hardest part about being an author is actually writing the book itself. And there's so much that goes into just that, right? Between coming up with the storyline and the plot and the characters and the whole arcing and making sure it all flows and then actually writing the story itself and writing, 60,000, 70, 80, 90, 100,000 words, even more than that, some of the bigger books. You would think that would be the hard part, right? Then after that, you've got the editing and you've got the cover design and the actual publishing part itself. But it turns out that that's not actually the hardest part about being an author. The hardest part about being an author is actually getting eyes on your book, actually visibility of your book. So I want to talk to you a little bit about that today. So when I first published my first book back in 2012, The 7 Steps to Closure, I used to have these, I can remember when I was writing, it was really embarrassing, right? So don't tell anybody. When I was writing, I used to sometimes, and this didn't happen very often, but sometimes I would stop and I would be like overwhelmed with like gratitude that I was going to get this book, out there and that I was going to be able to quit my job and write as a full-time author and I was going to make all this money from this book, right? And I remember I published it and then nothing happened. Nobody bought it. I think that whole year, I sold 72 copies. They can't all have been my mother because a lot of them, they were ebooks, right? And I don't even actually think she has an Amazon account. But 72 copies in a year, I mean, it's pretty devastating when you have spent as much time as I had, because my first book took me quite a while because I was working out how to write, not just writing, right? So lots and lots of drafts and redrafts there, but you publish the book and then 72 people buy it. And I was quite arrogant at that point in time because I didn't want to give it away for free. I felt that it was worth more than that, which it is, right? It is worth more than that. It was like a few years of my life. And I had ended up paying 2 editors because the first one sucked big time and I published it and there were still all these typos and grammatical errors. Then I had to pay a second editor to go in and do it. And then there was the cover designer. So it actually cost me not just my time and effort, but a lot of money actually to publish the book as well. So I was adamant I wasn't going to give it away for free. So unfortunately, because of that stupidity on my part, I missed this big Amazon wave that was happening with people who were giving it away for free and were promoting it. And then they were, at that time, Amazon with its algorithm was looking at one book being given away for free as one book being sold. So when you came out of a really successful 5-day promotion of giving the book away for free, the ranking of your book would sometimes shoot right up, that all of a sudden the organic show on Amazon was massive and then everyone was actually getting shown it and they were buying it. So when your book doesn't get bought on Amazon, it's not because sometimes it's because it's no good, right? If people have got heaps of bad reviews and the cover's really awful and the blurb is really bad, often that's why it doesn't get picked up. But the majority of the time that a book doesn't get bought on Amazon or wherever it is that they're looking at books is because people just don't see it. Amazon is choosing who to put books in front of what, depending on what they liked, and I'll go into a bit more of that in a moment about the changes that Amazon have been making over the years. So I ended up doing a free book promo, and unbeknownst to me at the time, Pixel of Ink, which is a website, picked it up and actually ran it in their promos. Now, Pixel of Ink is different in that they, and maybe this has changed now, but they don't do paid promos. So like BookBub and other places like that, where they have these massive email lists of readers and actually genre specific, which is where BookBub's really good. And you can pay to have your book promoted on there if you're lucky enough to get chosen. They actually do ads now as well. But Pixel of Ink's different, they don't. So unbeknownst to me, Pixel of Ink had actually showcased 7 Steps to Closure, and I think it was like 43,000 free downloads, which Amazon counted as 43,000 books sold within a 5-day period. And when it came off, I remember I nearly fell over because I'd gone from selling 72 books in a year, and I think I sold 72 books in the time it took me to drive home from work when it came off that free promo, which is like 30 minutes. And my book actually went 7 Steps to Closure at that point in time, actually got into the top 100 on all of the books on Amazon, which is massive, right? And that actually, you can actually call yourself a best-selling author. from that. It's the top 100. If you make it into the top 100 of a category, or overall, you can say you're a best-selling author. So I think it got to 99, just clicked under 100 and got to number 99. And I thought that was it. I thought, oh my God, that's it. That's it forever now. I'm just going to get in all these sales. And it lasted for a couple of months and then it tapered off. And this is the Amazon algorithm, right? Tapered off, and then we went back to hardly anything. But by then, because of that, because I had a second book out there, then, I was getting a bit more of people picking that one up, and I started to get really good reviews. So I think 7 Steps to Closure's got over 1,800 reviews now on Amazon, and it's like over 4.4 stars or 4.5 stars, which is really good, right? So because of the star reviews and stuff, it started getting picked up, and then Amazon kept showing it organically. So this is how Amazon used to work. They used to show books organically. They used to be like, right, these people like this book, and this is a really good book. It's got heaps of good reviews, and we're going to show them this book, and they would show your book organically. And I would do promos, but even without the promos, I would have good sales every month. And then something happened a couple of years ago, and at the time I wasn't really aware of it. I didn't have my finger on the pulse, and my book sales just started to slide. And I went from making maybe, without doing any promos at all, my book sales were at solid $1,000 a month without any promos. So then I would have a promos and I'd get to 3K, 5K, even had a 10K month once, right? And they just started to slide. And all of a sudden I was making $75 a month. And I have now got 11 books out there, right? So this is when I had probably maybe 9 books out there, and I was making $75 a month. Now you can imagine how hard it is to actually sit down and write when that's what's happening, when every month now you're getting paid $75. And you know that pretty much, even not taking into account your time and effort, that when you publish a book, you're going to make a loss. You're going to make a loss for your editing and for your book cover and everything like that. If you're going to make it look professional, you're going to publish it and you're probably going to make a loss. And maybe over the next year or two, you'll start to make money. So it can be very uninspiring writing when you know that that's the case. So all of a sudden you're writing for passion, right? And hoping that the sales will start to pick up. So if you noticed I had a bit of a break in writing, that's where it was. I had a whole big rethink about the thing, and then I realized that I just really enjoy writing, and I've come back to it now. So forgive me. But what actually happened that period of time when the sales went down was that Amazon changed their algorithm, and they went from showing books organically, the way they were doing it. So there used to be this whole big, not only were they putting books in front of each other, but you would come down, it would like people who bought this also bought this, and then there would be this strip underneath it where they would show you books, and that was the organic reach. They replaced it with Amazon ads. So now all of a sudden the books that were getting shown were books that were paying to get shown. So I learned how to do Amazon ads, but I could never get it to work. And I realise now, because we're doing them again, I've learned a whole new system on Amazon ads, and now we're finally starting to get them to work. Still a struggle, mind you, but we are making more money than we're spending. Always a bonus. But yeah, so that was what happened. They changed from organic show to Amazon ads, and I just, couldn't get my ads to be profitable. Now, so we're talking about marketing, how to get your book out there, how to get eyes on your book. So over the years, I have built email lists. So I have given away my book for free and built email lists and then engaged them. And then, and that gets hard when you're an author sometimes to keep engaging a list when there's like a year between books. So I've done that. I have run Facebook ads. I have done Pinterest. I have done Instagram. I have got a Facebook fan page. I have YouTube channel doing this now. These are all organic things that I've been trying, and the paid strategies with the Facebook ads and the Amazon ads. So trying all these different things to get your books out there. So not only do you have to be writing, you have to be kind of like stepping into the marketing world. And interestingly enough, my foray into the marketing world with books has now led to me having a secondary income where I actually do marketing, funnels, and copywriting. Turns out I'm really good at writing copy. Who would have guessed, being an author, right? But writing copy and stuff for other people. So we're not talking about authors, but I'm talking about online experts, gurus, mentoring, things like that. So I'm sort of starting to build out funnels and stuff for them. So that's been great. Learning how to do that has now actually given me another income. Do I love that? Yes, I do. I love that as well, but I would rather just be making money from my books. So, but creating opt-in pages and funnels where you're giving away your books and then you're trying to upsell off the back of them and doing these email things and everything like that. That's basically what I've been learning for the past years. It's been taking away from my writing, I must admit. But I'm at the point now where I'm confident enough within my online marketing skills and my turning up online that I think that, okay, maybe I can have a shot of this. And then this week I get on with another author who was doing really well with his Amazon ads, to talk to him about his Amazon ads and what he was doing, and just to see how we could refine our processes and how we can get feedback. Amazon ads are really slow compared to Facebook ads. Facebook ads, you can tell Facebook you want to run $20 worth of an ad, and they'll have swallowed that $20 up within the first half a day. You know, you tell them how much you want to spend and they will spend it for you. Amazon, totally different ball game. You know, the bidding system's different. Maybe there's just because there's so many authors on there, all bidding, right, for the same sort of things that you bid, you don't always get an impression. And then sometimes your ad can take months to actually start showing. So you can place an ad and then 3 months later, all of a sudden it starts getting shown. Who knows why, right? So when you're on Amazon trying to get information back so you can test and tweak and stuff, it's really hard because it's like drawn out over such a large period of time that the information you're getting is really diluted. As opposed to Facebook, where you can split test 2 ads. You can split test the same copy with different images, and within a day or 2 you can see which one's winning. Can that one and then start again. So it has been difficult with with the Amazon ads, I must admit, but we're starting to have some movement on it, starting to get a bit more show. And then now with me, basically starting a new series, doing YouTube videos, showing up a little bit more online, and just developing a little bit more of a face as an author. I'm hoping that I'll start to get known and people will start to read my books more and start to talk about my books. I kind of see it as like this, like we just keep pushing it uphill and then eventually it'll start to roll down the other side. So, I pay my VA to create a lot of my graphics about my books and stuff. So at the moment I'm using my income from dentistry to fund my hopefully potential income as an author, because I'm paying her to create all this stuff for me because I just don't have the time to do it myself. Within doing all the other stuff that I'm doing, working as a dentist and then writing. I don't have the time to do it myself. So I'm paying her to do it with the foresight that one day it will start to pay off and we will start to make enough money that will cover her and also free me up. So, I see people out there, I see authors out there who are doing amazingly well on Amazon, who, especially in that supernatural sort of the werewolf sort of area, who are doing incredibly well. So I know it is possible. It's really just working it out and staying at it long enough to get it to work, and the consistency is what the big thing is. Anyway, I'm rambling now. I've probably taken up enough of your time, but I just thought I'd let you know where my thoughts are on all of this. The hardest thing about being an author is actually getting exposure. And I think that, obviously too, there's so many self-published authors out there now. Most people are self-published authors these days, books that you would see on Amazon. And you can do as good a job self-publishing a book as a publishing house will do it these days, because we've got editors, we've got great book cover designers out there doing the covers, formatting, special programs for it. The benefit of having a publishing house is obviously having someone to put it into bookshops for you and market and distribute and things like that. That's a bit harder to do when you are a self-published author. But the ebook market is swamped with self-published authors, all of us fighting for a piece of the pie, all of us fighting to get noticed, all of us fighting to try and get ahead in this world, which makes it interesting. Anyway, I hope you found this a little bit interesting, this video on sort of marketing and the struggle to be seen as an author. I think people just assume that because we're writing books that we're rolling in it, right? I wish. But it's not that case at all. It's not that simple at all. And even when you have got, like I have 11 books out there, you can be struggling to get books, to get visibility on Amazon and to get noticed. Anyway, I hope you have a wonderful week. I hope you enjoyed this. If you did like it, make sure you like it and subscribe to my channel so you can stay up to date with what I'm up to, what I'm thinking, what I'm creating, what I'm writing. At the moment, working on my Demon Bounty Hunter series. I've got 3 books, got some amazing covers designed, and I'm starting to write them soon, and hoping to get a book done every 3 or 4 months, so I can start to get books out more frequently for you guys, especially for the one of you guys that are my fans and who email me and who message me and tell me how much you love me. So thank you. I write for you guys. I will see you in the next video.